Hi, friend. Do you ever feel like you're stuck in God's waiting room, just praying for a breakthrough that feels like it's never going to come? You'll look around and see other people getting their answered prayers, the new job, the relationship, the healing, and you're left wondering, God, did you forget about me? That silence, it can be deafening. The weight of your own timetable and your own time frame can feel like it's crushing you. It's a lonely place, and it's way too easy for anxiety and frustration to move in and get comfortable. You can start to think about giving up. The pressure gets to you, and you begin to question everything you thought you knew about faith. If that sounds familiar, I want you to do this. I want you just to take a deep breath. You're in the right place. Now, I'm not here to give you a bunch of platitudes or easy cliched answers. I want to walk you through the practical, daily things you can do to finally let go of your own clock and find the real, unshakable joy in God's perfect plan. We're in this together. And my prayer is that you will walk away from this feeling equipped and empowered, not just to survive the wait, but to find incredible purpose and peace right in the middle of it. Let's talk about how to unlock joy by trusting God's timing right here in this edition of Ignite Your Spiritual Growth. Hi, I'm Mark Warren, and welcome back to today's edition of Ignite Your Spiritual Growth from Directions for Living. Many years ago, I worked at a Christian ministry and missions organization while I was attending seminary. Now, one day at break time, I, along with my peers, we made our way up to the break room. And as I stood in front of the coffee machine fixing my cup of coffee, a fellow team member came alongside me. I noticed through my peripheral vision that he had just placed something in the microwave. After hitting the start button, he began to grow more and more impatient. He began shifting his weight nervously from one leg to another and tapping his fingers on the countertop. As his anxiety grew, I turned to look at him directly. He noticed my attention and he swiveled his head until our eyes met. And then he blurted out, "Isn't there anything quicker than 30 seconds? Let's be honest. Waiting is one of the hardest things God asks us to do. We live in an on-demand world where almost anything we want is instant. So when God's timing doesn't line up with our sense of urgency, it creates this deep friction in our souls. We find ourselves checking our spiritual watches, tapping our feet, and wondering if God is running late. And that frustration often gets worse when we start to play the comparison game. We scroll through social media, seeing the highlight reels of everyone else's lives, and it feels like they're sprinting ahead while we're still stuck at the starting line. And it's in those very moments that the enemy loves to whisper lies. You're being punished. You're not good enough. God has passed you over. This internal fight is exhausting, and it can leave us feeling totally alone and even more anxious. We start to believe our feelings more than we believe God's promises. Well, if this is you, you're in good company. The Bible, it's full of people who knew this struggle intimately in their lives. After being anointed king, David spent years on the run, hiding in caves and feeling forgotten. He cried out in Psalm 13, "How long, O Lord, will you forget me forever? How long will you hide your face from me?" Joseph, he had a dream from God about his future, but then he spent the next 13 years in slavery and prison before he saw it come to pass. Now, I want you to think about that. over a decade of waiting, betrayal, and injustice. Their stories aren't just ancient history. They're a mirror for our own seasons of waiting, and they prove that God's delays are not the same as His denials. Your waiting season isn't wasted time. It's a season of preparation. So how do we get out of that place of agitation and anxiety? It all starts with a few intentional choices that we can make every day. And I want to share some ideas about how you can step out of the anxiety and out of those moments of frustration. But first, I have a free gift for you. I have a free gift that I believe will help you stop starving your soul. I call it God's 3 key steps to enhance your spiritual growth. These key steps will encourage your desire to know God better and understand His exciting relationship with you. They will lead you to a transformed life through a simple yet a dynamic way to approach God through His Word. Now, I really want to get this into your hands, so I have put a link in the description below just to make it super easy. I hope you'll grab this free resource, and I pray that it will promote spiritual growth in your life. Okay, now let's get back to today's focus, unlock joy by trusting God's timing. Finding joy in the midst of waiting isn't a one-and-done decision. It's a daily practice of surrendering our timeline and holding on to His truth. So I wanted to break that down, if I could, into some practical steps that you can start taking today. So step number 1. Step number 1 is to get on God's calendar, not your own clock. Our perspective on time is, well, it's human. We see seconds, minutes, and days. God operates outside of time. As 2 Peter 3:8 says, "But do not let this one fact escape your notice, beloved, that with the Lord 1 day is like 1,000 years, and 1,000 years like 1 day." What feels like a painful, unbearable delay to us is just a single moment in His perfect, eternal plan. So the first practical thing you can do to start each day is by surrendering your schedule. Before your feet hit the floor, before you look at your phone, just take a moment to pray, "Father, my times are in your hands. I give you my timeline, my expectations, and my desires today. Lead me." This simple act will shift your focus away from your own frantic clock to His peaceful, sovereign calendar. I want you to remind yourself about what it says in Habakkuk 2:3. "For the vision is yet for the appointed time. It hastens toward the goal, and it will not fail. Though it tarries, wait for it, for it will certainly come. It will not delay." His appointed time, my friend, is never, ever late. Step number 2, focus on being faithful today. So often when we're waiting for that one big thing, we forget about the small acts of obedience God has placed right in front of us. We get so fixated on this destination that we miss the journey. Galatians 6:9 gives us this incredible encouragement. "Let us not lose heart in doing good, for in due time we will reap if we do not grow weary." What has God given to you to do today? Maybe it's your job, taking care of your family, serving at church, or just being kind to a neighbor. Whatever it is, do it with all your heart. God is looking for your faithfulness right here, right now. Don't look down at the season that you're in, because it's the very season where He is building your character, strengthening your faith, and preparing you for the harvest that is on its way. Waiting isn't passive. It's an active process of becoming the person who is ready for the promise. Step number 3, rehearse God's past victories. When anxiety about the future starts to creep in, one of the most powerful things you can do is to look back. actively remember and rehearse all the times God has already shown up for you. How did He provide when you didn't see a way? When did His timing, looking back, turn out to be absolutely perfect? Consider keeping a journal of answered prayers, if you will, a God's timing journal. When you feel discouraged, I want you to open it up and read story after story of His faithfulness in the past to you. This is going to build a library of evidence that you will be able to anchor your faith and be able to ride out whatever is coming next. I want you to think about the heavy hitters in the Bible. Joseph waited 13 years, but God raised him to save an entire nation. David, he waited around 15 years to become king, but in that time, God shaped him to be a leader after His own heart. Sarah waited until she was 90 for her promised son, but at the exact time God had set, Isaac was born. Their stories shout from the pages of Scripture. God keeps His promises, and His timing, it's perfect. Step number 4, feed your expectancy, not your anxiety. Every single day, you have a choice. Are you going to feed your anxiety, or are you going to feed your expectancy? Anxiety loves to feast on the what-ifs and the worst-case scenarios. Expectancy, on the other hand, feeds on the promises of God. Philippians 4:6 tells us, "Be anxious for nothing, but in everything by prayer and supplication with thanksgiving, let your requests be made known to God." When an anxious thought pops into your head, don't just let it hang out. Take it captive. Replace it with a promise from God's Word. If you're feeling worn out, declare Isaiah 40:31. Yet those who wait for the Lord will gain new strength. They will mount up with wings like eagles. They will run and not get tired. They will walk and not become weary. If you're feeling forgotten, I want you to declare Isaiah 49:16. Behold, I have inscribed you on the palms of my hands. Your walls are continually before me. Make a conscious choice to starve those anxious thoughts and fill your spirit with hope. Patience isn't a weakness, it's an active trust in who God is. Okay, step number 5, don't wait alone. I want you to find some trusted, faith-filled friends or a small group where you can be real. Share your struggles, your frustrations, and your hopes. Let them pray for you and with you. Hearing someone else speak truth over your situation can be the lifeline that you need on a hard day. Community is the reminder that you're not forgotten, and it gives you the strength to keep going. The journey of trusting God is a process, and we all need encouragement. If this message is hitting home to you, I want to invite you to do 2 things. First, I want you to hit the subscribe button. We're building a community here, and I don't want you to miss what's coming up next. Secondly, I want you to make a bold declaration of faith in the comments section. Fill the space, if you will, with hope. Just type the words, "Lord, I trust your timing." Let's create a powerful wave of faith together. And if you're comfortable, share a short story of how God's timing proved to be perfect in your life. You have no idea who might need that story to read about to get them through their day. Well, here's what it all comes down to. Trusting God. Trusting God's timing, and it can be an act of worship. It's declaring that He is in control, that He is good, and His plan for your life is worth waiting for. It's about letting go of the illusion that we are in control and resting in the reality of His peace. Remember, the delay you're feeling is not a sign that God is absent. It's often proof that He is doing detailed work behind the scenes. He's shaping you, protecting you, and positioning you for something far greater than you could ever imagine. The joy you are looking for isn't found at the end of the wait. It's discovered right in the middle of it, as you learn to walk hand in hand with the one who holds all of your tomorrows. He hasn't forgotten you. In fact, he is closer than you think, working all things together for your good. Thank you so much for watching today's video. If today's video has been helpful to you, I want you to like and subscribe and share it with someone who might need to hear this message today. And grab the free resource through the link that I've provided below. May you engage these steps to finding joy in the wait. Until then, have a great week, and Lord willing, I'll see you back here next Tuesday.